Missouri, and on the web at jock987.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fantasy Professionals. My name's Dallas Keithley. I'm here with my co-host Cody Askins. We are on Facebook Live. A couple of ways you can listen to us. Of course, on Jock 98.7 FM, jock987.com. As I said, you can tune into Facebook Live and see where these beautiful sounds are coming out of these beautiful faces. But you can also listen to us through streaming a bunch of different ways. If you don't get enough of us, it's your fault. We've been waiting years to do this show.
The Fantasy Professionals is finally here. We are excited. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have been preparing for this for it seems like forever.
Months, years. I've said July 1st, 3 o'clock so many times. I was starting to think that it would never come.
We've tried to do a lot of promoting for this show, and as Dallas said, you can actually watch us live in studio on Facebook Live on our The Fantasy Professionals Facebook page. So please check us out, like us, and watch us.
Absolutely. Again, the phone numbers, if you want to give us a call and talk some fantasy football, 868-6100 and 1-800-869-5927. All right, Cody, tell us a little bit about why are we doing this show? What made us want to do this? What are we doing?
We are huge fantasy football enthusiasts. We're obsessed with fantasy football, fantasy sports in general. We're going to talk fantasy football, fantasy baseball, fantasy basketball, with a real emphasis on fantasy football as we're coming into the NFL season.
Absolutely. We are ready to go full time all year with football. We're both football fanatics.
Huge football fans.
And so
we're business guys, but we love fantasy football. We're local here in Springfield, Missouri with Secure Insurance Group. Again, I'm Cody Askins, my host all over here, Dallas Keithley with Secure Insurance Group. We are huge businessman and fantasy sports enthusiasts. So thanks again for tuning in and listening to us.
We talk fantasy sports around the office pretty much.
Too much.
Well, all year. Our production goes down definitely from probably August to January. Yeah. And so we figure we might as well come talk with other people that love it as well. Couple rules of the show. We want to make sure that we're professional and that you're professional as well. Be polite. There's enough negativity out there. Call in. Let's just have a good time. And then also we want to be profanity free. No need to call in, call us a name or anything like that. Plenty of people do that at home. But also
our moms are probably listening, I'm sure.
Mom's listening. My mom carries a wooden spoon in her purse still to this day. And so we don't necessarily want to see what she does with that. So
yeah, but we'll try to be positive. We love fantasy sports, and we just want to see it in a positive light and see it talked about in a local way and have some local questions answered.
Absolutely. What we want to talk about today is kind of a draft thought process. We've talked about rankings a little bit, getting ready for the show. I don't think we're quite ready to talk about rankings.
It's getting close, but it's pretty early.
A lot of preseason left. A lot of injuries are going to happen still.
No question about it.
Hopefully more to the Steelers than anybody else. But
sorry, Steelers fans.
Yeah, we want to talk about how we think about the draft thought process and what it got us going into this. I read an article this week. The fantasy game is changing. Fantasy football, as we know it and love it. You and I have been playing for years and years.
Yeah, I've started playing when I was like 12. I mean, I'm going on 14 years now.
It's a different game. In the past, it has been a running back, maybe even running back.
Oh, and our league's always been super heavy running back. I mean, just almost every pick for so many years. Now we've seen a shift the last few years, as I'm sure most leagues have.
It's a passing league now with the introduction of all these great quarterbacks, great wide receivers. Of course, we play in a standard league.
We do.
We play in a couple PPR leagues as well, but the main league that we play in is a standard league, and I'm still going to have trouble going away from a running back thing. The article I read this week talked about going with 0 running backs. And it sounds crazy, but it says here, the gentleman talking about, he says, not only are wide receivers safer than running backs, but by eschewing running backs in the early rounds to draft wide receivers, you're positioning your team to be overwhelmingly strong at fantasy's highest scoring position. And here's a fact I didn't know. Excluding quarterbacks, 9 wide receivers and just 1 running back finished top 10 overall in PPR leagues. And you say, well, that's PPR. But even in standard leagues, wide receivers still had the edge 6-4.
Wow. Who would have thought that? I mean, years past, it's been such a running back heavy league. I mean, most number one overall picks always seem to be running backs.
Absolutely.
It may not change for me. I don't know yet, but it could change for a lot of people.
Now, you and I love when we came up with the idea. I love the thought of you and I doing a show together because we both love fantasy football. Both have similar interests, but you and I could not be more different.
Oh, completely different.
When it comes to draft thought processes.
Yeah.
I am going to be the guy. I'm going to draft my team. I'm going to build camaraderie on the team.
Little chemistry.
Some chemistry. I'm going to take the families out to dinner.
He talks to all of his players before every game.
Send their kids Christmas presents.
He doesn't want to get rid of them either. Where I'm actually the complete polar opposite. I draft to trade. I look at who's in the room and what teams they like, what players they like, the big names. I don't draft a ton of rookies. That could change this year, Mr. Ezekiel Elliott.
That's what I was wondering.
But
what are you gonna do?
Love drafting to trade. Well, you know what? If I'm a Cowboys fan. I can't lie. I'm on radio. I'm a Cowboys fan. I got to be honest. Well, I don't draft as a Cowboys fan. I draft as someone that dominates every fantasy football league that I've ever been in. Ever!
Yeah, and if you consider being number 2 overall for the past 3 or 4 years, he does dominate. And
one thing that's
number 2 is good enough for some people.
Well, when
it really
you finish
is.
top 3 every year, and you've been to the Super Bowl more than any other player in our league, you can call me Mr. Consistency, Prime Time, Mr. Fantasy Football, whatever you want to call me.
I've got some words I want to call you, but Dwayne's sitting over there saying we can't call each other that. But no, I'm going to draft for the remainder of the season. I'm going to start 90% of my players.
Dallas will probably look at the playoffs, which with his track record maybe he shouldn't. No, we make a few trades. Our league is the craziest, most obsessed. And if you're that guy, talk to us. Hopefully, we may even have a spot open up this year. We are our league.
Don't give Cody your phone number if you do, though.
Yeah, that's true, because you will trade with me about 30 times.
How many times did we trade last year in our league?
Our league traded 108 times in 11 weeks. Almost 10 times a week.
And I'm guessing
that's crazy.
If I had to take the over-under on you being involved in half of the trades, I'm going to take the over.
Well, if you took the over, you'd be right. We had 108 trades in our league. We're the fantasy room on myfantasyleague.com. That's what we use, myfantasyleague.com. That's our league site that hosts our league site. Our league name is The Fantasy Room, local Springfield. We got some guys from Arkansas, Illinois, Oklahoma. I was involved in 58 of the 108 trades, over 50%.
And that's why we had to go out of state to find people to play, because Cody had traded with everybody in the state of Missouri.
Almost a trade a day.
Funny story. I actually, should we sell this on the radio? I think we're okay.
No, we're probably fine.
I had a buddy of mine call me at probably 12:30 at night, and I'm thinking something's wrong. This guy,
it was his first year in our league.
First year in our league. He calls me. I'm thinking I'm getting ready to go and pull somebody out of a ditch or something like that. He calls me and he says, "Hey, are you Facebook messaging me?" And I said, "Bud, I'm in bed. You know, I'm old. I'm in bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm in bed." He says, "Well, somebody is on your site. I think it's Cody." Cody had actually hacked into my Facebook page because this guy wouldn't answer his phone call, and had hacked into his Facebook page and was acting as if he were me and telling him that I really ought to do this trade.
Maybe Mr. Consistency, maybe Mr. Persistency.
Yeah,
but either
persistency,
way.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I have changed, beginning in September, October, I changed all my all my Facebook passwords, all of my Instagram passwords, Snapchat.
Yeah, don't change your fantasy football league passwords, because I make trades with Dallas, so he never even knows.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we pay enough attention. That's not possible.
Yeah, no, we're checking that thing at least 4 times a day. So give us a call, 868-6100, 1-800-869-5927. Tell us about your thought process when it comes to the draft. When you draft somebody, are you drafting them? Are you drafting best position available? Are you drafting as your team needs? Are you drafting because you know, like Cody, that we've got to you're going to get some trade value for him?
So, yeah, I'm strictly drafting to trade, no question about it.
Absolutely.
Again, call us 868-6100. Please do.
What we're going to do now, we have actually got some great sponsors that have given us some great trivia prizes. And so we're going to have a trivia question for you here. Our first trivia question of the day, we're actually going to have two of them today. Our first trivia question comes from On the Ball Sports, one of our sponsors. On the Ball Sports is located in the Battlefield Mall, also on the Branson Landing. They're on Facebook. You can find them there on Facebook. 881-0576 is their phone number. You can walk in and talk to Jeff and the guys. The most interesting thing that I've seen at On the Wall Sports, I didn't realize this, they have over 140 individual teams represented there. You can go in and find a Boise, Idaho hat.
What other local store can say that? Go check out On the Ball Sports. That's incredible. Sports.
All right, guys, here is your trivia question. I'm not. Somebody should know this. This answer may be a little bit Googleable. I don't know if that's a word. Well, Google it and find out.
Maybe. We've actually got a couple callers already.
Couple calls already
for the interest. We'll if Dwayne, if Paul's ready, we might as well throw him on and let Dallas ask him the first trivia question.
All right, Paul, you there?
I am.
All right, Paul, here's your question. In Super Bowl 20 in 1985, of course, between the Chicago Bears and the New England Patriots, we all know about the amazing defense that the Chicago Bears had. And, of course, it's funny. We were talking about this trivia question before Mr. Bryant passed away this week, and so it's kind of ironic. But in Super Bowl 20, 1985, how many net rushing yards did the New England Patriots have against the Chicago Bears? And I'm just going to make you guess.
Oh, okay. Well, can I have, less than 50?
I tell you what,
give him some multiple choice.
I'll give you a few multiple choice options. Let's go here. I'm going to have to make these up on my own. You're making me, thank you. Your first caller, very nice. Let's see here. I will give you 4 multiple choice options. Let's say 125, 52, 7, or 14.
Well, seeing as I said 50, I'm going to go for 52 yards.
Oh. No, I'm sorry. That's incorrect, Paul.
Unfortunately, it is wrong.
Thank you for calling us, though.
Wait a minute.
Yes, sir.
Before I go,
absolutely.
Would you? I'm an extreme novice at fantasy football.
Okay.
Leagues and all this. I don't understand the PPGs or the what are those.
Right.
Would
yeah,
you guys
PPR.
go
Yes,
ahead
sir.
and explain all of that, to us novices, so perhaps we could play also.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a couple different types of leagues. There's standard leagues, which are...
That's all right. I'll let the other caller come on, and that way you can get going.
Okay,
Thank you.
We'll make sure we list that. Thank you for
We are going to make a note of
Paul.
that, and later in the show, keep listening, we'll talk about that. Let's see. I believe we have Ricky on the line. Ricky, you there?
Ricky, do we have you there, buddy?
All right, I think Ricky may be gone. Do we have Jacob on the line?
Jacob, are you there?
I'm there.
All right, Jacob.
Thanks for calling in, Jacob.
Thanks for calling. What do you need me to read the question again, or you got this?
Yeah, go ahead and read the question again, please.
All right. In Super Bowl 20 in 1985, how many net rushing yards did the New England Patriots have against the Chicago Bears? Was it 124, 52, 7, or 14?
Can you say the question one more time? I'm sorry. We got you guys live, too.
That's all right. In Super Bowl 20, 1985, how many net rushing yards? He's trying to read my papers, what he's doing on the
through Facebook Live.
How many net rushing yards did the New England Patriots have against the Chicago Bears? 124, 52, 7, or 14?
We're here.
We'll tell you, Jacob, the 52 was already
The 52
incorrect.
was already guessed.
How
So
many
we're helping
rushing
you out
yards
here.
did the New England Patriots have against the 1985 Chicago Bears? 7, 14, or 124 for the whole game, rushing yards?
Let's do 114. Yeah, 100. We're going to say 114.
Sorry, that's
Unfortunately,
incorrect.
that is incorrect.
That's incorrect.
I'm very
Thanks
sorry.
for calling.
Thank you very much for calling, buddy. I really appreciate it.
All right, we've got Brad on the line. Brad, you there, bud?
Sir, I'm sure I'm right here.
Okay.
Brad, thank you for
Something
calling,
tells
sir.
me, I remember it being a low number, but we're going back many years now.
Yes, sir,
You're
yeah.
right.
I want to say 14.
14 is also incorrect.
Well, then that leaves the last one. Yeah.
That does. And
That
so
does.
hopefully the next guy that calls has been listening.
Thank you very much for calling, Brad. Thank you very much,
for
sir.
listening. Absolutely.
All right,
All
we
right.
got another caller on, too. Thanks, Dwayne.
All right, David is on the line. David, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. David, David, was it?
Yes, I am. Mm-hmm.
Okay. David, do you need me to read the question again?
Go for it. So last one got it wrong. I'll go 7.
You're right. Ding,
We
ding,
have
ding, ding,
a
ding. We
winner.
have a winner.
7 yards allowed by that 1985 Bears defense. How amazing is that? An interesting fact, at halftime, the New England Patriots had a negative 19 rushing yards.
Finished the game with 7.
Finished
Wow.
the game with 7.
Thank you very much, David. Really
David,
appreciate
yeah,
that.
thank you for calling in. If you'll hang on the line, Dwayne's going to get a little bit of information for you. We have to go to a break right now, guys. We'll be right back. Thank you again for listening. We'll be right back after these messages.
There's no place like home. It has a certain magic all its own, and memories are made there every day. A lifetime of good times shared along the way. Have yourself a Bluebell Country Day.
Bluebell introduced the original cookies and cream ice cream. So every time you dig into that familiar creamy vanilla ice cream that's loaded with chunks of chocolate cream cookies, you can say thanks. You're more than welcome.
A lifetime of good times shared along the way. Have yourself a Bluebell Country Day.
Look for Bluebell half gallons on sale for $4.99 each now through July 5th at Ramey's Price Chopper.
Hi, this is Wayne Glenn. Cherry Tree Homes. Mike Davis brings you simply a better way to build. Cherry Tree Homes. While others build a house, Mike Davis will build you a home. Land, home, financing available all in one place. www.cherrytreehomes.net. Mike Davis from Home Matters brings you a one-stop place for building the home of your dreams. You pick where you want to live, your school district, pick your home plan, and the financing is all lined up. www.cherrytreehomes.net, www.cherrytreehomes.net.
You check things all the time, like your email every 10 seconds, or your ex's Instagram. But what about checking something as important as your credit? Well, Discover makes it quick, easy, and best of all, free. In fact, Discover is the only major credit card to offer FICO credit scores to everyone for free, even if you're not a customer. We call it the Discover Credit Scorecard. And once you know your score, you should check to see if your current credit card is the best fit for you. Check your credit, compare your card. Go to discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
If you want to improve what you drive over to Youngblood Motors on South Campbell. If you want to improve your drive on the golf course, listen to Grayson on Golf every Thursday at 2 on Jock 98.7. We'll talk about local, state, and national events. Tune in for tips from nationally known personalities and call in with your question. That's Grayson on Golf, presented by Youngblood Motors every Thursday at 2 on Jock 98.7.
Welcome back to the Fantasy Professionals on Jock 98.7. Thank you very much for tuning in. We want to thank our segment sponsor, JBG Painting. Call Jake Gillette today at 825-4919. They have the nicest painting staff I've ever seen. We didn't even know they were in our office, did we, Dallas?
We had about 25, I think. Probably how many offices?
Yeah, we got about 25 offices, a big office. They got through it quick. It was incredible. It looks really well. My office looks better than Dallas's now, but they both look
until
really
I get
well.
in it. But, yeah, JGB Painting, they came in. They were there 2.5 days. They left, no mess.
And it's a huge,
it's amazing.
Nearly 5,000 square foot office there at Secure Insurance Group. And yeah, if you need anything residential or commercial painting wise, make sure you use JBG Painting for your painting needs, and let him know you heard us. That you heard us, our show, The Fantasy Professionals, and he will give you a 15% off. So make sure you remember that. 15% off through JBG Painting.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Call Jake Gillette today, 825-4919. Awesome, awesome painters.
That discount may increase if you mention you're a Cowboys fan as well.
Yeah.
I know Jake is a...
He's an Eagles fan.
Yeah. So, Yeah, that discount may go away. But that's up to you. That's at your own risk. Hey, we've got Brad on the line that has a question for us. Brad, shoot, what do you got, bud?
Got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Been in Springfield for about 6-7 years, but I'm looking for fantasy football leagues to get in.
Okay.
I play a lot out of the area and out of state, but I don't do it locally, and that's what I'm looking for. Some leagues that, and the gentleman there said he likes to trade a lot, and that's my philosophy also.
Oh, I'm obsessed with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
When he says a lot, that's like saying that I like to shave my head a lot. I mean, that's
Dallas is bald. For those of you that aren't watching
this is
on
radio,
Facebook
isn't it?
Live.
But if I gave you my number off the air,
do this.
Someone just kind of let me know what leagues are out there.
Absolutely,
I like
we can
standard
definitely.
leagues. I like PPR leagues. I do
great.
a lot of auction leagues. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And hey, and another thing we're going to do, if you are on Facebook, I don't know if you are, but if you will go to the Fantasy Professionals on Facebook, that's a great way to contact us, to communicate with us. And if you'll hold on the line, we'll actually let Dwayne get your information, and we'll probably give you a call after the show. And
shoot us
appreciate it.
Yeah, you're very welcome. We know a lot of leagues. We can point you in the right direction. Shoot us a message on Facebook. We'll definitely point you in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
tuning
the
in,
call.
Brad.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before the break, we also had a call from a gentleman that wanted to know what we're talking about. Of course, we've been playing so long, we just rattle off these terms like somebody in the Army rattling off acronyms. Standard, PPR, what we mean by that is the standard in PPR is a scoring, the way the league is scored.
Absolutely.
And you can go, when you form a league, you can actually go in and set your scoring to how you want it. So the variations are endless. But for the most part, in a standard league, a touchdown that is either received or ran in is worth 6 points.
A lot of times, yeah.
And the quarterback, of course, the one that tosses the touchdown receives 6 points. But also, if you go to a PPR league, then not only is that receiver going to receive 6 points for the touchdown, but every time that receiver catches a pass, he's going to receive an extra point or 2 points, depending on how it's set up. So PPR stands for points per reception.
Yeah, standard leagues, you do not get a point for actually catching the ball, but PPR leagues, you do get extra points for catching the ball. So
absolutely, and great question. And you know, a standard league, every league, well, I say that most leagues, you start a quarterback, you start 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end, and then you have usually a flex player that can be either a tight end, a wide receiver, or a running back. I've played in leagues where the quarterback could be the flex, but
all kinds of leagues out there.
Yeah, there's all kinds. But then you also have your kicker and your defense. Again, the scoring can vary greatly. Make sure you understand your scoring before you go into the draft. I've done that.
We try to change ours after
Wondering
the draft.
why Aaron Rodgers, is still sitting there in the 12th round, and kind of turns out quarterbacks only get 1 point.
Right.
You know, so. But
what we're going to talk about now that we really want to explain that we have our own different philosophies and things that we do differently is actually leading up to the draft day. The different things we do, how we prep for the draft. This is a weekend. I mean, I've got my weeks planned up for this draft.
We actually draft every Memorial Day weekend usually. And I think
that Memorial Day or Labor Day?
Or Labor Day, I apologize. Yeah, Labor Day. It's one of those summer holidays.
Yeah,
but
first weekend of September normally, always, right before the beginning of the year. This year starts on Thursday, September 8th, and we're going to probably be drafting on the 4th somewhere.
Yeah. And why we do that, a lot of guys are drafting already. I've seen mock drafts going on. I've done a few mock drafts. We like to do it as close to the season as possible because like we said earlier, there's going to be a lot of people get hurt in training camp. There's going to get guys in preseason that get carted off the field. Hopefully not, but it happens.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. And so we like to be as current as possible. And so we that week leading up to it, we're getting ready for it. Cody, the morning of, will of course take an ice bath and go eat his egg white omelet, and do about 700 push-ups. And
you got to prep. You got to be ready.
No, but seriously, there is a lot of work that goes into our league. We try to make sure our wives know that first weekend in September, we're not available. And so they also know that we're going to be prepping quite a bit.
Oh yeah, I start actually prepping and doing mock drafts the week of. I'm studying the depth chart the night before. I'm waking up hoping that nothing is going to interfere my day, or I try to conserve energy for the draft too.
You
Sounds
think
crazy.
he's kidding.
You think I'm nuts.
You think
but
he's kidding, but he's actually not. I don't talk to him probably the week before. We're friends all year, but when it comes time for fantasy football, it's all fair in love and war.
Yeah.
But absolutely, we try to, of course, get a good night's sleep.
Well,
get rid of the
Dallas
wives
he's in bed by 9 p.m. every night anyway.
Till 9 a.m. usually. No, that's not true. If you have children, you know that's not true. But we spend a lot of time studying. What do you like to do, Cody? As far as studies, what do you like to do? Mock drafts? What do you?
Yeah, I like to get on some live mock drafts with other fantasy football enthusiasts around the world, and actually do some live mock drafts with them. I'll start out picking number 1. The next time I'll pick 5. The next time I'll pick 10. The next time I'll pick 12. And so I'll move my picks around. So no matter where I'm at the draft, I'm prepared and I'm ready for that specific area. And I'll also, I'll study depth charts. I'll read a lot of news. I'll go through all injury reports. I mean, one thing I make sure in every part of my life is I want to be the most prepared dude at every event, especially the biggest time of the year, my fantasy draft.
Absolutely. We want to thank you guys again for listening. We're getting ready to take another break. We want to talk a little bit about the people that make this show possible. First National Bank, that's my bank. They're over there at 4108 South National. They also have 2 branches there in Clinton. Their phone number, 417-823-9600. They're also online at myfnbonline.com. I could tell you all about how they've been in business since 1946, 70 years, same family, 3 generations of people have earned it. Aaron Berge is the manager over there at the branch that I attend now. I believe he's the vice president of the bank. But the thing that keeps me going back to, I've been there, probably 10 years now. The thing that keeps me going back, I walk in the door and we walked in the other day.
This is so impressive, too. Listen, this is amazing.
Angie walks in and says, I walk in and Angie says, hey, Dallas, how's it going? How's your daughters? How's your wife? She calls them by name. Asks me what I'm doing on the 4th of July. Natasha's sitting there already filling out my deposit slip. I haven't filled out a deposit slip in probably 10 years.
Yeah.
They just ask me, what I'm doing, what I want to, done.
Again, that's First National Bank. They give it a great local customer service feel. You will love them.
If you, when we set out to do the show, we wanted people that we trusted, that we knew, that we used personally, and that we don't have any problem recommending, and I have no problem recommending First National Bank. Go in there today, see Aaron, see Angie, see Natasha, let them know that we sent you. You'll get a free Werther's candy out of the candy dish, and they'll love to see you.
Dallas has had a few of those.
Absolutely, 1 or 2. Guys, we'll be right back after these messages.
When it comes to choosing your business coverage, Barker Phillips Jackson knows your needs are unique. They help to identify what makes your business different, analyze risk, and compare prices and options from multiple providers. Whether you need help navigating changing healthcare laws, property or liability insurance, bonds, workers' comp, employees' benefits, or more, BPJ excels at developing specialized plans to fit your business needs. Call Barker Phillips Jackson today, 887-3550, or visit bpj.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engine.
If your driving skills are top-notch and you're looking for a career change, Fry Wagner wants to hear from you. Maybe you already have a Class A license, or you're an over-the-road driver wanting to spend more time at home. Fry Wagner will even help drivers get their commercial license, providing on-the-job experience, training, equipment, and not to mention a great sign-on bonus. Call Fry Wagner today, 417-831-4000, 417-831-4000.
Gentlemen, start your engines. Race over to Jock987.com to play the Village Inn Jock 98.7 Fantasy Racing Challenge. Win great weekly prizes like delicious Village Inn pies and a grand prize trip for 2 to the 2017 Daytona 500. That's the Fantasy Racing Challenge at Jock987.com. Brought to you by Village Inn locations in Springfield, Ozark, and Republic. But no need to race in. Breakfast is served all day.
This afternoon, times of clouds and sun, shower and thunderstorm, humid, high 85. Cloudy and humid, shower and thunderstorm tonight, low 67. More clouds than sun for tomorrow, shower and thunderstorm and a high 86. Sunday, a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm. That could bring on some flooding. Look for a high on Sunday near 80. Independence Day, shower and a thunderstorm, high 80. I'm AccuWeather's Steve Williams.
84 degrees at Jock 98.7.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Guys, we are back. Welcome to the Fantasy Professionals on Jock 98.7. Again, my name is Dallas. I'm here with my co-host Cody with Secure Insurance Group. We'd love to hear from you guys. 868-6100, 1-800-869-5927. Again, remember, you can watch us live on Facebook Live if for some reason you want to do that. But we're back here. We've been talking a lot about fantasy football, which is what we know and love. We've been talking about the draft process.
Absolutely.
Everybody thinks we're crazy now.
I'm giving away all my secrets.
All of his secrets, absolutely.
Dallas has a chance to compete now. What do you think?
Again, we are totally different when it comes to draft day. But we also want to talk a little bit about other hot topics in fantasy. We know a lot of people. We play some fantasy basketball, fantasy baseball. A lot of things been going on recently. A lot of the things been heating up. Of course, the big thing right now in NBA is free agency. I've listened all day to how Kevin Durant is the top prospect. It's like everybody wants to dance with a pretty girl at the dance, and KD is that pretty girl.
This has been the craziest, outside of LeBron and the courting of LeBron, this has been actually a pretty exciting NBA. They're raising the salary cap. They are giving some of these dudes more money than they should ever deserve.
Absolutely. Timothy Mozgov, and I don't have a list, but it's Timothy. I didn't know that till this morning, doing some prep for the show, is going to receive $16 million a year. $16 million.
That's a huge number. It's crazy to think. I mean, I watch a little NBA. I watch almost all the playoff games, but the amount of money these guys are getting, it's like perfect time to be free agents,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Makes me want to go down to the Y. I heard a guy that said this morning he's just going to go down to the Y and start watching for guys that are 7 foot tall and become an agent. I believe agents, he said, get 4% of what 4% is $16 million a year. I could move some things around, but I could live on that.
No question about it. Even Jeremy Lin got in on the action. Everybody knows Jeremy Lin, Linsanity, his famous nickname. He got 3 years, $36 million. I know some people think he's decent. He had a great run there for a little while, but that's
great marketer.
Yeah,
marketed,
no question about it.
And
he's got a cool documentary on Netflix too, Dallas.
He does. I've actually seen that. Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting. Actually, I think we have a phone call. Kit is with us. Kit, how you doing today?
Doing good. How are you this afternoon?
I'm doing really well. Really well. Thanks for asking. What can we answer for you today, or what can we do for you?
Well, first of all, your advertising works because I've been hearing it all week, and while I just tuned in about 3 minutes ago, so I'm sorry if you've already gone over this, but
oh, you're fine.
I'm entering probably my 15th year of fantasy football.
Wow.
And I've been in the playoffs all but 1 year, but I've only won twice.
I know the feeling, unfortunately.
Read all the news like you were saying, look at the depth charts, but I've never really understood the point and reason to mock drafts.
The point and reason to mock draft for a couple reasons. One of the reasons that I do it is to kind of get a feel, like Cody said earlier, I will draft at number 3, I'll draft at number 5, number 12, to kind of see where players are landing, because in most mock drafts, you're playing with live people. And one thing that I hate is when you get on there and people kind of goof around, and you'll get into those every once in a while. You'll get some silly
mock drafts too.
You'll get some silly ones, but you will get into some good ones, and so it'll kind of give you an idea. Okay, in the 3rd round, there's a good chance that this player is going to be available, or if and it may just be that we have an illness.
Yeah. You said something strong though, kid. I mean, studying depth charts, preparing like you talked about, playing for so many years. I mean, you probably don't even need mock drafts. I just do it because I'm obsessed, and maybe too obsessed. But I just and our league is so competitive and crazy that I want to be the most prepared in the room. I want to make fun of every pick they make and blow it up like mine's the best that's ever been made. So
and he does.
But, and thank you for calling it and starting off with some positive and some compliments. Really appreciate it, Kit.
Yeah.
No problem.
Absolutely. Now, Cody, we mentioned something earlier that I wanted to get into a little bit. We talked about how we send the wives out of town. They know not to mess with us during that week. I heard a gentleman here a while back talking about how his wife plays with him in a league.
Yeah.
And we both love our wives. You've been married.
He's putting the pressure. He'll get me in trouble. My wife's
No.
listening.
No. I'm not going.
I love my
I'm not
wife.
going.
She's awesome. We have great wives.
Yeah. If we have to preface it with that, we know we're getting ready to say something stupid.
Knows that we are never going to play fantasy football together.
So that is something that you would not consider.
Never.
No. You like your marriage.
You would.
And,
I wouldn't.
Well, but really, no. My wife and I, she got interested in, and of course, our wives are always wanting to do things that we have in common with us, and we love that about them.
Time with the big fellas.
Absolutely. That's weird. But anyway, a couple years ago, my wife said, "Hey, I want to learn more about fantasy football."
Yeah.
And so I asked her. I said, "Okay,
and the
let's
first,
do this."
First mistake is she asked her husband instead of asking me.
Yeah. So anyway, we set up an ESPN. Just a fantasy league. You can go online. There's hundreds of them online.
Tons of free leagues. ESPN.com, NFL.com.
We went on there and we set it up, and we set the lineup, the draft. I think she picked the first 3 or 4 picks, and then I picked the rest because she said something about it being boring. But she set her lineup. She followed it about 2 weeks and just wasn't interested in it. So we learned that it wasn't for her. I would love to get a call, 868-6100, 1-800-869-5927. Is there anybody out there that is in a fantasy league with your wife? Or
what's your thoughts on it?
Would you do it? And if so, we would maybe like to sign up for some marriage counseling or something, because you obviously got a strong marriage. I don't know.
I fight enough with Dallas throughout the fantasy league year, and I want a nice, positive relationship.
Absolutely. I want to go home and my keys still work, and eat my dinner without worrying about, what's in there.
If I call you at 11 o'clock to make a trade again, she may kick you out and stop talking to me.
And that's another thing. I don't want Cody calling my wife at 11 o'clock at night, And so give us a call. Let us know, 868-6100, what you think. Would you play in a fantasy league with your wife? Do you have any advice if there's somebody out there that's wanting to play in a fantasy league with their wife? Let us know. My wife and I talked this morning. We said we've made it early. We've been married 15 years now. We made a decision early.
Wow.
We don't work together. We don't. We go on, do a lot of stuff. We hike. We have fun. But I believe we've got a caller on the line. Let's see.
We've got several callers. Thank you guys for the interest, for calling, for listening. This is great.
Absolutely. I think we have Eldon on line 1. Not there. Okay.
Nope. Eldon fell off. Sorry
Who
for
do
not
we
getting to you
have
sooner.
there on line 2? Caller, go ahead. Hello?
Okay. We are.
All right.
I think we got Kyle on. Kyle, you there?
Hey, yeah, I'm here.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for calling in. What can we do for you?
Thanks for listening.
Hey, no, I was calling to weigh in on the whole playing fantasy sports with your wife. I have had the pleasure and made the mistake of doing the same thing.
So which was the pleasure and which was the mistake?
Well, it's nice because, for one thing, I told her, I said, well, really, if you want to get to know a sport, and if you want to get to know the players and everything, one of the best ways to do it is to play fantasy. I mean, you get to know them on a level that you wouldn't if you're just watching a game on a Sunday or
Absolutely.
Monday night.
It's the only reason you'd be watching the Browns in Miami on Sunday at 3 o'clock.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, though, at the same time, it is. It's not a fun feeling when your wife beats you in fantasy. Not a great feeling.
I can imagine. And there's still some luck involved, so I can see that easily happening, too.
Wow. See, you went that way. I assumed that his wife was very skilled and knowledgeable, maybe put in a little more time than he did.
I doubt that.
Kyle, sit back on the couch. Tell us about your feelings. How did that make you feel?
Pretty rough.
I understand.
It's not near as bad. I think I'm in a fantasy league, though. It's a family one.
Oh.
My mother-in-law is in the fantasy league, and
wow.
and I'm not kidding you when I tell you she has picked. Oh shoot, who's the Chiefs kicker right now? I can't even think of the guy's name.
Chiefs kicker?
Carlos Santos comes to mind at some point.
There we go.
I don't know if that's.
She picked him in the 3rd round of our draft, and I texted her when she did that and laughed at her. And then in about week 4 or 5, I just happened to have a few injuries and a couple of rough go at it, and she ended up beating me that week. So.
And let me guess, Carlos Santos kicked the game winner, I'm assuming.
Carlos Santos had the game of his life that week.
Yeah, maybe Cairo. I don't know.
Cairo Santos. Sorry about that.
I don't even have kickers half the way. I don't even draft a kicker. I don't even draft a kicker because I want room for more guys to trade, and I don't trade kickers. So there you go.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for calling in, Kyle.
We also have Garrett on
thanks,
here.
Guys.
Oh, thank you very much. Absolutely.
Have a good one.
You too. Garrett, are you there?
Yeah.
Garrett, you ever played any fantasy sports with your wife?
I haven't with my wife. I was calling in regards to the mock drafting and just kind of talk on that for a
Absolutely.
second.
Please do. What do you think?
It's such a useful tool. We go into our league with predetermined draft spots.
That's
so I know
awesome.
I'm picking number 3 this year.
Wow.
And if you do that before like July, when all the rosters are set, if you go in there knowing where you're picking, like I know I'm taking either Le'Veon, Odell Beckham, or Antonio Brown.
Wow, this dude's preparing. I love it.
Are we talking PPR or standard?
Half point PPR, 10-man.
Okay.
It's pretty useful stuff. And you know, with that, I know with the 10-man, wide receivers are gold. It's kind of the age of wide receivers.
Absolutely.
That's very true.
With running backs, there's like that top 15 tier, and then after that, there's a lot of uncertainty. You know, you got guys like Langford that you're unsure about going into this year, Latavius Murray, those guys.
Right.
So you can get them in like the 5th and 6th round. So I've already got it. I don't like to be too predetermined, but I know that, you know, I'm taking either running back or wide receiver round 1. Then I'm usually taking 2 more wide receivers right after that because there's that run of wide receivers after the first 3 or 4 rounds, and it's slim pickings after that. And there's that middle tier of running backs that lasts for quite a while. So
I love it. A man with a plan. Hey, what site do you?
It's a huge help.
What site do you?
Use, I draft through ESPN because that's what our league's through. So I kind of like using that same setup.
Okay.
There's also, because I know they're pretty lengthy, I took it from a podcast I listen to in the mornings, Fantasy Footballers. They talk about Draft Wizard.
Okay.
DraftWizard.com.
Wow.
It's like this simulation, and it's, you know, you could buy the pro package or you could do it for free, and you know they go in there with the expert ratings in mind.
Right.
And so you're drafting against this computer, and it's pretty stinking realistic, and you could get a draft done in 2 minutes.
That's really good. Well, there's also a Fantasy Football Calculator. That's actually a live one. It's not an auto one like that with computers, but several good ones. Awesome. Thank you very much for calling in, Garrett.
Yeah,
We've enjoyed
thanks for
talking to
having
you,
me.
sir.
Garrett, thank you very much, buddy.
Yep. Bye.
All right. Now, we're up against a break here. Want to tell you about one more sponsor, Cody, 417 Lighting. I know you're familiar with a lot of things that they do.
Absolutely. 417 Lighting Specialist. Jeremy Johnson's a good friend of mine. They are your local LED and electrical service provider. When it comes to lighting and electrical needs, please call Jeremy Johnson today. He's a great friend of mine, extremely honest guy, one of the best personalities I know. Again, Jeremy Johnson, call him today, 655-1283. Anything electrical, commercial, residential, doesn't matter. Anything you can think of, lighting-wise, electrical-wise, from the smallest job to the biggest job. Call Jeremy Johnson at 417 Lighting Specialist at 655-1283.
It's time for us to take a break. Again, you guys, you're listening to the Fantasy Professionals on Jock 98.7. We appreciate you listening. We'll be right back.
You ready? Let's go.
Sci Sports has 26,000 square foot of air-conditioned multi-sport and event space, with 8,000 square feet of new hard surface, perfect for volleyball, futsal, soccer, basketball, or Zumba, yoga, fitness classes, and more. Visit SciSportsCenter.com or call 839-1788.
This is what it sounds like at a car dealership that doesn't offer big cash back. And this is what it sounds like at a Chevy dealership that does offer big cash back on award-winning vehicles.
Booyah! All right!
During the Chevy 20% sales event, get cash back for 20% of the MSRP on many 2016 Chevy models. For the best selection, get to your Chevy dealer now. For vehicle eligibility, visit Chevy20%.com. Not available with special finance, lease, or other offers. Take delivery by 7/8/16. See dealer for details.
The 4,000 ASE certified technicians of Firestone Complete Auto Care prove a tool's only as good as the hands behind it. Right now at Firestone Complete Auto Care, you can get an additional 10% off on any service. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Offer valid June 27th through July 3rd. Save an additional 10% off our current lowest advertised price. Offer excludes tires and gift cards. Offer cannot be combined with other discount programs. Not to be used to reduce outstanding debt. Offer void where prohibited. See store or driveafirestone.com for full details.
Hear that? Of course not, because a dead car battery doesn't make a sound. You know who does make sound? Your daughter. And if you miss her big game, she'll make plenty of angry, high-pitched sounds. Better head to your neighborhood Advance Auto Parts. We offer free battery testing, a 3-year replacement warranty on our Platinum batteries, and free installation from one of our parts pros. Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back on the road. Most vehicles, most locations. See store for details.
Welcome back to the Fantasy Professionals on Jock 98.7. We're talking all things fantasy sports. And again, thank you for tuning in.
Absolutely. We also want to thank our sponsors. We are sponsored by Dr. Rolando Papagayo. You say, well, what is that? Dr. Rolando Papagayo is my dentist. He is the one guy that I will trust to be my dentist. Dr. Papagayo is there on 640 West Republic Road, Suite 124, 883-8448. That's 883-8448. drpapagayo.com. Dr. Papagayo graduated from UMKC in 2002 and been doing dentistry in the area ever since. I could tell you how he's a member of the American Dental Association, the Springfield Dental Association. The biggest testimony that I can give Dr. Papagayo is the fact that I let him work on me, and I have a deathly fear of dentists. Cody was around me playing softball, of course, knocked my front tooth out, had to go see somebody, and Dr. Papagayo was a referral.
I'm really glad you ran into him. Whoever referred you, I'm really glad they did, because he's got the nicest dentist office I've ever seen. I'm not kidding. This was the cleanest, nicest dentist office I've ever seen. And if somebody's working on my mouth, it's got to be clean.
Hygiene is number one.
They want me to floss my mouth to be clean, so I would love, and their office is incredible.
And like I said, when I say that I have a fear of dentists, that's the understatement of the year. To give you an example, first time I ever went in there, just to see him, just to get, see what we were going to do, sat down in the chair, and after I left, I had to change shirts, just soaked through. Dr. Papagayo thought it was hilarious. But
he's awesome, real cool guy.
Never knew, he gave me, I don't know what he gave me, gas, something, but it worked. My teeth look great, and I'm forever grateful. Go see Dr. Papagayo. We have Sean on the line. Sean wants to talk to us, I believe, about playing fantasy sports with his wife. Sean, you there?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right.
Thanks for joining.
Have you ever played fantasy sports with your wife?
Yes, sir. I've been playing, actually, fantasy football since 2005.
Wow.
And since I got with my wife, that was back in 2010, I let her know that I was in a fantasy football league and I was going to a draft where all the group of guys get together. Well, she kind of felt left out. She asked me, about what it's about, how you do it, things like that, and how you score. We go through the ESPN standard. So I introduced her to that, kind of explained it to her and everything. She said, well, I'd like to try that out and see how I like it. So
wow. And still married.
Yeah.
That's great, Sean. That's really cool.
We went online and got her hooked up, set up a team, and she liked it and been in it ever since, and she loves it. I think it brings something to the table with our relationship that makes it stronger, something that we can bond on.
That's good to
hear.
hear.
I'll tell you,
something helps. I love that.
You're a better man than us. I'll tell you that, which, that may not be saying much, but still. We appreciate you calling, Sean.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Now we are going to go into our last trivia question of the day. So please call in, and we will read the trivia question here pretty soon. This trivia question is brought to you by Scissorhands. Go see Alicia at Scissorhands. If you're looking at us on Facebook Live, she is the reason I look so good all the time.
She had nothing to do with me, so don't hold that against her.
Again, Alicia, she's over in Sola Salons at 1839 East Independence Street. Call her 300-7111. Again, 300-7111. And look her up on Facebook, Scissor Hands, with a Z on the end instead of an S. Scissor Hands, just like the Edward Scissorhands movie.
Yeah.
That's right. She's giving away a $25 gift certificate for a free haircut. So
perfect.
Looks like we have a few callers, and we will jump to one of them very soon. Thank you guys for all the activity. Kevin, are you there?
Yeah.
Kevin, thank you for calling in. Are you ready for the trivia question?
I'll give her a whirl.
Sounds great. Chance to win a free haircut. Okay, so who holds the single-season NFL record for touchdown receptions with 23? Again, 23 touchdown receptions in a single season. A, Randy Moss. B, Jerry Rice. C, Calvin Johnson. Or D, Terrell Owens.
I'll say Calvin Johnson.
That's what I said.
That is what he guessed. Unfortunately, that is incorrect, Kevin. I appreciate you calling, and I hope that you'll call in next time. I'm sorry. Calvin Johnson is incorrect.
Thank you for listening. We've got another caller on the line. Who do we got here?
CJ, welcome to the show.
How's it going, man?
Doing well. Okay, so if you heard the first caller, he guessed Calvin Johnson. Unfortunately, that was incorrect. Would you like me to read the question again?
Nope, and I think I know it already.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it's Randy Moss.
That is correct. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Wow. Jumping on the show and making it happen.
Absolutely. Alicia will make you look good over there at Scissor Hands. Congratulations,
Yes.
man.
Yeah, make sure to stay on the phone. Yeah, make sure to stay on the phone. Dwayne will get you information. You can stop by the studio, the show station, and pick up a free haircut by Scissor Hands with Alicia. Thanks for calling in. Great job.
All right, great. Thank you.
And I believe we have another caller on the line that had, he dropped off, had a question for us. We did get a question during the break. If someone was wanting to get into fantasy football,
okay,
what would we recommend? How long would it take them to get their feet wet? I would recommend, like I said before, there's hundreds of free sites out there.
Yeah.
Get on there, get on the ESPN site.
It's so big. I mean, if you guys don't know it, there's like almost 100 million people playing fantasy sports, fantasy football in particular.
Surely you can find somebody that'll play with you.
Yeah, there's so much knowledge out there. There's so many leagues. There's so many mock drafts. You can get free rankings, paid rankings, whatever the case may be. But you have access to so much knowledge. Well, I mean, we're in the tech industry now, and we've got so much knowledge out there that we could have access at any point.
Absolutely.
Even Dallas can compete with all
even Dallas, yeah. Cody comes in every morning, shows me how to turn on my computer, and I go from there. We just fire it up and go from there. But to give a new person, let's give them,
okay,
if you give them one piece of advice, what would it be?
One piece of advice.
Mine would be, don't use a magazine.
Yeah,
That's just the top of my head.
We make fun of the guys in our leagues that walk into a magazine because they're normally 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months old. People have actually got hurt. People have been cut from teams. People have retired.
That tells
Marshall
me that
Faulk
guy
doesn't play anymore.
Yeah,
yeah.
That tells me that guy is not prepared. Now that guy's probably going to beat me, but he.
That's what'll happen.
I'm going to work.
We'll mouth him and then he'll win.
Yeah, we'll mouth him and then he'll win. But guys, again, we wanted to let you know we've got a couple minutes left in the show here. Wanted to let you know a little bit about what we do. When we set out to do this show, we promised our wives that we would talk a little bit of business. And so, as we told you before, we're with Secure Insurance Group. Our office does everything that has to do with insurance, from auto, home, life, disability, long-term care, anything you can name.
Medicare.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter. Anything, group, anything you can think of. We're over on 3506 South Culpeper Circle, Suite A, off of South National, really close to Cox and Maddox New Prater Eye Center. Again, Secure Insurance Group. If you have an insurance need, we would love to visit with you. I hope that you would like your insurance to be with some cool fantasy football enthusiasts. So if you'd love that, call our office, 883-9300.
Had a person the other day tell me, you're kind of like Select Quote. I don't know if we can use Select Quote's name, but a group
with a personal touch.
With a personal touch. We can shop your life insurance. Make sure you're not paying too much.
Yeah,
we've actually make sure you're not underinsured.
Yeah, we've got 69 different term life carriers that we shop with a quote engine nowadays. We use the technology to make sure you get the best price available. 883-9300. If we'd love to visit with you, we'd love the opportunity. We'd be blessed. We would really appreciate that.
Be sure and ask for Cody in Dallas. Again, guys, we want to thank you for tuning in. We had a great time. Talking with you guys.
If anybody's got any final thoughts, call in 868-6100. We got about 3 more minutes, and we again love fantasy football, love fantasy sports. We're getting close to the draft. If anybody didn't know, It starts on September the 8th.
Thursday night football, baby.
Yep.
We'll be ready to go. I know, Cody, how many leagues are you going to be in this year?
This year, Lauren, my wife, turn off the radio. I will be in probably about 5. I may cut it back this year.
I'm going to cut it back to even 4. It's time for my wife and I to spend more time together, so I'm going to go back to 4.
Yeah.
And
hey, the annual Hall of Fame game kicks off Sunday, August 7th with Green Bay and Indianapolis.
That's a game that I'll tune into.
That's a great game to
do
you watch preseason, Dallas?
I actually don't, and I have a reason. The reason I don't watch preseason is because it influences my thought process too much when I draft. Because a big player will go off, and I'll think, oh, this guy's going to do great this year. Yeah. And so I try to stay away from it. We've actually got John on the line. John, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I just had a comment about my wife playing fantasy football. She's 10 times better than me.
Wow. That is strong.
She scouts offensive lines, everything.
Wow.
Whoa.
So yeah.
That's impressive.
She's really awesome. But then I'll tell you a quick story. I was up on her, and me and her were heading to the playoffs, and it was one of us are going to make it and miss it.
Right.
And when I went to sleep that night, she dropped 2 of my players, so she'd win.
Oh,
that is dirty pool there.
She's ruthless.
But she's awesome, though. I mean, she's really good at it.
Well, see, John, really that's on you. You got to change your passwords, man. I never let Cody into my house, around my computer, or anything during the fantasy season.
Gosh, thank you very much for calling in, John. We really appreciate it. Have a happy 4th. Hey, we want to thank all of our sponsors again really quick. We got about 70 seconds, 1 minute there. We want to thank JBG Painting, called Jeremy Johnson today. We also want to thank First National Bank.
Go over there and see Aaron. Go see Angie. Go in and just tell them we said to say hi.
Make sure to call 417 Lighting Specialist. Jeremy Johnson owns it. Again, JBG Painting, Jake Gillette, First National Bank, 417 Lighting Specialist, and Dr. Papagallo. Thank you all for sponsoring. If you have a painting need, a bank need, an electrical or lighting need, or a dentist need, please call them.
Got everything covered there, really.
Yeah.
That's all your needs. Absolutely. Guys, we want to say thank you again for tuning into the show. We've had a blast. We hope you'll tune in next week. 3 o'clock next Friday.
Next Friday again, 3 o'clock, the Fantasy Professionals. That's right.
We want to tell you to have a great 4th of July. Don't blow up anything that's not supposed to be blown up.
Don't go Jason Pierre-Paul and blow off your fingers.
That will blow your fantasy season. And again, lastly, say thank you to the troops. We appreciate anybody that served, made this 4th of July possible. Guys, have a great weekend. A happy 4th of July. We'll see you next time on the Fantasy Professionals.
August.
Another strong finish by Phelps.
For the first time ever.
And it's a Gabby gold.
The spirit of the Olympic Games comes to life.
Usain Bolt still the king of the 100.
In one of the world's most dazzling cities, Rio. The one event that unites the world. The 2016 Olympic Games from Rio. Beginning August 5th on NBC.
We've been telling you that Castrol Edge is a really strong advanced full synthetic motor oil. In fact, 3 times stronger than Mobil 1 against viscosity breakdown in the Kurt Orban test, a standard industry shear stability test.
But guess what Castrol has been up to? Castrol Edge has been testing and proving its strength in supercars.
Supercars are the pinnacle of engineering in the